Hi there everyone, it's Jo here from Creative Empowerment. Thank you for joining me. So glad that you're here. Today we are looking at nature spirit messages, pick a card. So I've got 4 feathers here to choose from for you today, and I will bring them up to the camera because they are a little bit tricky to see. Our first feather I think is from an Australian cockatoo. I'm not 100% sure. It is very fluffy, so it could actually be from a dove or something like that as well. But yeah, cocky feather could be what it is. So that is our first feather. A bit tricky to see on the back of a white sort of background. Very delicate. Our second feather is from a rosella, I think. It's a little bit beaten up. So pile 2. Lots of rosellas around my house, or sort of parrots. Pile 3 is a beautiful feather from a tawny frogmouth, which is kind of like an owl, a little bit like a nightjar maybe, if you're watching from other places. Again, nice and soft here, and I'm not sure which feather it is. It's definitely a very soft sort of plumage feather maybe, I'm not sure. And our last feather is from an Australian galah. So this is, I think it's a flight feather. Particular shape of it, and you may be able to just pick up that little tiny pink colour there, which is what made me pick it up, because it just, was very delicate against the grey. So there's our pile number 4. As always, there is a link in the description box below for you to jump to these particular feathers when you're ready. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you would like a private reading, there's a link in the description box below. And when you know which pile or piles are calling you, then you can head over to your reading. And I'll see you there. Hi there, pile number 1. If you chose the cockatoo feather, then this is your reading today, all about what the nature spirits want to communicate to you. Now, the funny thing was that I filmed these, a week or 2 ago, these videos, and I forgot to do your video. Pile number 1. So then today, when I was getting the cockatoo feather back out from where I keep my feathers, this other little feather down here wanted to come in as well. So I have no idea what it is. It looks like it could be a little bit of a crow, or it could even be a magpie feather. So I am just doing what I'm asked, which is bring this in. Now, the other thing is that when I did my meditation preparing for this reading for you, I saw 2 animals, and the first one was a tiger, which is interesting because the first card you got was courage, and it's a lion. So perhaps, no, I didn't see it. Didn't missee it. It is actually a lion. And the second animal was a bee. So I'm going to talk about those 2 animals before we go into the reading. So the first one, the tiger, is, facing things head on. We are also in the year of water tiger in Chinese astrology, so it may mean something for you there. You may want to look up what the tiger means for you. The tiger is, very much about facing your fears, and we do have that here, that courage, that kind of thing. And a tiger is ferocious in the sense that they know what they want. The other thing about tigers are their colours, their stripes. Their stripes help them blend into the background when needed. However, they are a fierce competitor when they need to. These are the things that are coming to me that are important for your reading today. And then the second animal was a bee, and bees are about community. They are about resting when it is time to rest, because bees are very hard workers. So these are all things that you may be, and your reading is completely different to the other 3 readings here. So very, very different reading. You may be someone who works for your community tirelessly. You may be someone who works really hard. What else we're getting here? You may also be someone who does like unpaid work, like volunteer work, and this is all spirit just talking about, yes, this is your pile. If you are any of these things, and if maybe you're doubting that you're here for a reason. Anyway, into this reading I'm sort of getting. So we have our first cards of courage, and this is almost exactly how the tiger came to me. The big face coming out of oh, what do you call it, out of the abyss, and it just came through. And it was very strong and very much just stared me in the face, but it was very gentle and it was very loving. So it wasn't, like staring me down as if, there's something that I need to know. This was very much, I've got you back. I'm here. I'm supporting you. And this courage, this inner strength is within you. And perhaps you need to look in the mirror to see how much you will do for whatever it is that you need to do. So that's a little bit cryptic, but I'm not getting any, any other information there, and perhaps we will as the reading goes on. But because this is a general reading, perhaps that level of information may not come. Sometimes really detailed stuff comes, and other times it's detailed but in a general way. So you're being asked to trust something. So it feels like a change is coming in your life. You're having to leave something behind, and this is why we've got the courage card. The trust card is you knowing that things will get better, and at this period of time, things may be a little bit cloudy and unclear for you. The fact that you've got this second feather coming in, I don't know what that's doing yet, and I don't know why it's there, but perhaps it means something to you already. But I'm not really sure. So like the sort of the message that I'm getting around it is it's like a secondary meaning coming in for you in this reading, but it also feels like a companion, like maybe it's an extra spirit guide for coming in for you that you didn't know about. And if you're not someone who knows about your spirit guides, perhaps you're someone who might start looking into that, or you're starting to commune with spirit guides and you're actually developing. Now, I know in the screen you can't really see the two, so I'm going to bring them up while I'm talking about them. But, perhaps it's like a companionship, and I don't understand what that means, so I'm not going to go into it, but they're the words that I'm getting. So this is this companionship. And it feels quite spiritual to me, but it may not be for everybody. So our courage card comes with the rainbow. The rainbow waterfall. I absolutely love this card. These are new cards for me, and they're very pretty. Denise Lynn, I think. And this is talking to you about letting things flow. The courage card, the trust card, the waterfall, it's all about releasing and letting things go. It is knowing that if things seem blocked, there's going to be this, opening up of something. Things are going to flow. We've got all this butterfly. We've got rainbow. This is miracles. This is what this card is talking about. And to me, my head kind of went, oh, I don't know if I'd go that far, but that's my head talking. So I'm, but maybe that's you. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're someone who believes in miracles, but not for you. Maybe you believe in miracles but doubt that the thing that you really want will show up for you, and that feels kind of like we're on the money there, especially now that I'm coming back and looking at the trust. So we've got new beginnings. As I said, there's a new thing happening for you. There's something new on the horizon. This is a 10, so this courage and this trust and this miracles, you're being asked to complete something for yourself first. And I did talk about letting go. So there is an element of understanding that you may have done what you needed to do in a certain area. This could be children leaving home, or even children who are, teenagers and you don't need to do as much for them, or work or a project that you've been working on, or perhaps you are someone who has a sport team or volunteers their time. I think I've already talked about that for you, and perhaps it's time to let that go now because the next thing is coming along, and it doesn't feel like it's closing a book. It feels like it's a closing of a chapter, and that feels really nice. But it's like it's time for you to focus on something completely different for yourself, and that feels very important too, that it's for yourself. Then we have the Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant sitting underneath courage and trust. So this new journey that you're going on, the Page of Pentacles there is all ready to go on this journey. There's a map at his feet, and he's flipping, tossing the coin which way to go. And I don't I don't feel like you have that little awareness of where you're going, but perhaps there is a moment of time where it's like you need to reset, like a compass, reset the compass, but you're not completely devoid of where this is going or where you're going. However, you may feel like a little bit aimless, is what the nature spirits are really talking to me about here. And this thing that you're having to leave behind or closing this chapter on, and it may, for some people this may be temporary. This may be a glitch, as in it's something that you really enjoy doing, but you can't do it just yet. But I think the other thing about this is it's like giving you a taste of something that you know that you're actually quite good at and that you would like to do. And that's really kind of pretty interesting, I feel, because I talked about you maybe being someone who works for the community, maybe someone who works really hard. And I feel like perhaps you're having a moment of, with the star card here and the Hierophant, I feel like you're having a moment of maybe rethinking a career, maybe rethinking something that you're actually good at and you've never really given yourself. It's like you've never talked yourself up enough so that you knew that you could give this a go. And I've got the Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck here. And I'm going to place it over here. It is more sitting with this energy. So maybe let's see if I could put that in that middle there. Because the Eight of Swords here is telling me how you feel about yourself. Because this, you're being guided to take a bit of a new journey. It doesn't feel like a massive detour for you. It doesn't feel like... and I've got to put that card out too. It doesn't feel like, it's not a total revamp of your life. You may have already been doing this in another capacity in some way. I'm going to use an example because I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but I'm seeing lots of different ways this could be for different people. But I'm going to use an example. Let's say you've been working in an allied health field, or, working in an office or an environment or a shop, whatever. But you work with children and you've enjoyed that aspect of it, but you've never really thought to yourself, oh, I could be a teacher. But your demeanor is very much of a teacher. Okay, so this is what I'm picking up from the Hierophant. It's like you've never seen yourself as this thing. However, the universe knows that's who you are. And I'm really, like, my ability to speak in sentences is becoming very short and sharp. Like, I want to speak very bluntly, short, sharp words, because I don't feel like you're allowing this energy to flow for yourself. The King of Cups reversed. Maybe this requires you to do more education, more schooling, go back to school, something like that. Maybe this is something that you kind of put on the back burner because you thought to yourself, life got in the way. Perhaps you started a family early and you couldn't do it, or perhaps things got out of control. You had to just pay for whatever it was and you had to make ends meet. But I'm feeling here that you're being given an opportunity by the universe to take a different road. Now, you are feeling in the sense that you don't really, I feel like you're like almost stuttery to the point where I can't even speak this out loud. So this could be, I feel like you'll know this, and that's why that tiger and the lion came straight into my face, because it's like you may have decided that this wasn't something that you're even going to contemplate, entertain, but the universe has a different plan for you. And it's like you've been taking these little side steps or around it sort of thing, because you're good at this. You know how to talk to people. You know how to do whatever this thing is, because it won't be the same for everybody. But I'm going to keep on with my kid example, because there is this teacher here. And you may not be a teacher in a school. You may do it in a different way. The star here, you're going to be in front of people. This is about you using your voice, using your gift for communication, which is something that I see here for you. And you're really kind of, you're an empathic kind of person. You're very good at bringing the best out in other people. And I feel very emotional now that I'm talking about all of these things. And this whole top line here is what is there for you, what is available to you, which is this miracle, this idea that yes, you could have this degree if you need a degree to be able to do what you want to do, or you can have this piece of paper that says to you, yep, you can do that role, you can do that thing. You may have, like I said, I feel like you've been doing this in the community, in your life, in another way. And it's time now to go within, which is the Hermit here, and stop seeing yourself on the outer. Stop seeing yourself as not having these skills, not having these abilities, not having the time, not having the resources, whatever it is, because you're putting yourself into this winter feeling when it doesn't feel like that's 100% correct. That's I'm really kind of sugarcoating it there. I could be a lot blunter, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm not overstating it either. But you are making your own situation worse, because I feel like you're a good studier. You actually love learning. Maybe you didn't do well in school, or you didn't get to finish school, or whatever the other challenge is around that. But it's time for you to open up all of the things that you actually enjoy doing and put them together into, that's what I could do for work. You know what I mean? Like, why do I do something that I don't necessarily enjoy? I might enjoy parts of it, but if I put all the things that I enjoy doing, then maybe I could have this role that is just perfect for me. And my whole body, it's like my body's letting go. It's not, I wanted to say my whole body's letting go, but then Spirit actually just checked me back into a couple of areas in my body which are not doing that. And here we go. We have the Two of Swords reversed. Now, this can actually be a opening up to the element of the water that is behind the swords. So the swords are our thoughts and our thoughts, perhaps our beliefs around ourselves that are stopping us from doing something that we want. There's very much division here too. So for me, this talks of perhaps family didn't tell you that you could do this. Perhaps everyone in your life has been, basically just saying, just go to work and just earn money, and that's it. And when I say that's it, I mean don't have this fulfilling aspect that's going on here, because you're a person that actually works with your feelings a lot. So you can't just put them on a shelf and expect that life is going to keep sustaining you and rewarding you. And I know that you look after people. I can feel that about you, pile number one. And I feel that's why we've got the second one. See, look, my voice, or the way that I am using words, gets diminished at times, but you're actually very good with words or communication or feeling and expression. And it feels like you're either a mentor, a teacher, you have something to impart to others, and it is growing within you. You have some skills that it's time to share. You may not like this idea. You may need to spend some time, excuse me, my tongue is tripping over itself. You may need to spend some time working on this thought. As I said, think about exactly what it is that you like to do and put it all together. You know what I mean? Like, it's a melting pot of what you want. That's what life can be, and I don't feel like anyone's ever told you that that's what it could be. There is going to have to be some big shifts around how you believe you can get what you want in life. And this being tied up, I feel like now you're going to tell me that this is circumstances and situations and you can't do it, but that is a belief. That is a belief that you have that limits you from doing the things that you want to do, from growing, which is really what you want to do. And that's what's going to make you feel really, really happy, because you're meant to shine, pile number one, because you have a gift. And the thing is that you're bringing the gift to others, and it's very much childlike, the miracle and the new beginnings. It's almost Tinkerbell that we're looking at, Daffodil Fairy. And it's you trusting that this is possible for you, and you will have to have courage here. Because, if you're someone who is starting this later in life, and I don't mean that you're really old, I just mean that perhaps you've lived life and it's now time to take a different path, then this is challenging, because your life may be set up in a certain way, and to do all these other things, which is very much what this hangman was sort of talking about. You see the storm clouds. It's like you think that if you get your way, it's going to have to be massive upheaval in your life. And maybe there will be some upheaval, but you're creating bigger upheaval with the way you think about it. And I know you don't like me saying that, and I'm terribly sorry. Fertility. This is a time for you to make, rapid, life-altering changes should you choose to. And we have the beautiful little Cupid or angel there as well. We have a 29, which ends up being 11. One of your cards, and I don't remember which one, but we had another 11. We have the 2, which is upside down, which is an 11. These are all master numbers. These are numbers that are telling you it's time. It's like there's a knock on the door telling you it's time. The nature spirits want you to know it's time for you. It's time for you to sort of unlock your hidden potential, your leadership. And here we go. We've got the number 11 again there in a symbol form. This is leadership. This is you with your hopes and dreams. This is you walking, and I have got a video of hopes and dreams. If you're interested, go and have a look at my playlists. But this is you stepping into your leadership role. You're not meant to be doing what you're doing, and I get it. There is part of what you do and you enjoy it, but you need to be stretched more. You are, there is more for you to give than you are currently allowing to come up into the world. This focus, yes, you are going to have to focus. You're going to have to reorganize some stuff. But you know what? You're going to feel so good. And if this is a goal that you have to, stretch to reach, then you're going to enjoy it. So just because it seems like it's big picture and it's too far away for you to figure it out, or you put all the hurdles in the way, it's just spirit making you understand that it's really for you. But you have to focus, you have to commit, you have to trust, and you have to have this courage that you've got the support you need. And I do feel like you do. Now, if you don't feel supported, then that again, there's a lot of self-doubt here. There's a lot of belief in the fact that you have to put up with whatever this is you have right now. Page of Pentacles, this is challenging for you, but we do have a lot of animal spirit, particularly animal spirit support for you. And you also might be someone who really benefits from going out in nature and walking, getting your, connection and releasing some of your negative, self-beliefs. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please think of doing so. And if you'd like a private reading, there is a link in the description box below that takes you to my website, and you can choose the time that's suitable for you anywhere in the world. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Hi there, pile number 2. If you chose the parrot feather or rosella feather, I'm not exactly sure which one it comes from. Then this is your reading today, all about what the nature spirit messages are for you. So there was a very loud message in my head, which was hang on. Whoever needs to hear that, that's the message coming to you. And we've got some there that we're going to turn over after we've discussed the energies that we've got on the top. Now, I'm really quite breathless as I'm starting to talk to you, pile number 2. And I feel like you've been working on something very, very long, working very hard, and you're going to do what you've set out to do. That's the messages. That's the hang on. It's knowing that you're here to do this. You can do this. You're very capable of, more than capable of doing this. And you're actually here to do this. Like, the message is very, very clear. Hang on, it's coming. There has been this element of you playing small in the world up until now, or recently, or I don't know what word you would like to use to describe this of your life, but that's what this mouse is reversed. It's very, very low to the ground, the mouse energy. So keeping yourself out of sight, keeping yourself small, and really not wanting people to see you clearly, because people might notice stuff about you. And as I'm saying that, I've got quite a lot of energy moving in my hand. So here, so it feels like we've got the creativity card over here, but this feels like perhaps you're a person who brings something into the world in a creative manner. Perhaps you're a creator. Feels very strong actually that you are, but my hand is very busy, very active. It's how you bring something in, and whether that's you edit films or whatever this is, but you're a bringer of something into this world. And it's time to stop playing small. We have the cosmic egg. So this creative project that you're working on, again, the snake, you know, bringing in that wonderful creativity, that fire, that passion. And the cosmic egg is one of those very highly attuned spiritual cards in this particular deck. This is the nature spirits talking about how they're helping you. They're actually helping you cocoon and create this thing that you're bringing into the world. They're helping you bring through the life of it, through the colour and the deeply spiritual aspect of whatever this thing is that you are bringing to the world. It's not yet ready to come out, but it's, you know, like you might be working on it, and part of the working on it is part of the journey. So it's not like, you know, when I get it ready, then it's going to be plopped onto the market or, you know, into the world. It's very much about you working on it while the world goes on, and that is part of your journey. There has been a lot of pain that, you know, has come from you maybe getting ready to do this. So perhaps this is a personal biography or journal, or, you know, it's very much about you and who you are, and you're bringing your own pain through to help others. A lot of this spilt ink here is really drawing my attention, which is next to the feather. So you are a communicator. The swords are all about communication. So this could be a book. This could be a documentary. This could be a journal of your life, you know, and your creativity. It could be artwork. I could name a million things that this could be, and I may not list what yours is, but it's very passionate. Look at the reds and oranges we've got here, dovetailing who you are right in the middle. This is you being able to do it all on your own. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have help. That doesn't mean that spirit is not involved with you, because there really is a lot of spiritual help around you, I feel. This here is, it's like you have this in droves. You have creativity in droves. You have the things like the aspect of your life, your calling, you have it in droves. And while this to me feels like other people can see this about you, I don't know if you can. So the nature spirits really want me to draw that to your attention, that you may not be able to see your own gifts, that you may be stuck in some ways, because I have a feeling here about lack because of the playing small. I'll come to the Nine of Cups in a minute. But I have this thing about you, pile number 2, where you don't believe in yourself. And there's really, besides the mouse card here, and these are some new cards for me, and I just love them. They're gorgeous. Look at that colour. Very much about who you are. And I don't care if you dress in blacks. You are a creative, imaginative person who is very colourful. Your personality is colourful. Your everything about you is colourful. And I don't care if you don't see yourself as that, because that is the message that I'm getting for you, that you are colourful, exciting, you know, passionate, those sorts of things about you. The Nine of Cups here, it is going to fulfill you. This is that beautiful card of optimism. Strength is coming through with this card for you. Happiness, vitality, optimism, joy, happiness, vitality, optimism, and joy, and repeat, repeat, repeat. You know, it's this really, it's a divine gift that's coming through you, and because it's a divine gift that you're sharing with the world, and like I said, it may be based on your own pain, that it's going to be gifted to you. Doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to come through you, but the nature spirits want you to know that you have a lot of support. Sometimes you may not plug into the support. Knight of Pentacles, you are you're going to make some money with this this thing that you're doing. And the other, I really did notice the investment here too. So make sure you invest in your time, yourself, and the skills that you have, and keep them upkeep. Keep investing in yourself, because you are the thing that brings this into the world. Now, let's have a look at this card underneath. A thicket of thorns, uncertainty. This is what I was talking about. This is you feeling uncertain about who you are, which is that mouse, the hiding. And this is you thinking that the world is a scary place that you don't belong in, is part of how I see you. Pile number 2, you feel like you're quite sort of empathic, maybe, that you're very sensitive to the energies around you, and particularly if you're a creative spirit, then that makes a lot of sense. But you don't see your own place in everything around you. Perhaps you are at home in nature, which really feels lovely to me. This idea that you're part of this nature element feels quite strong. And again, I just have such energy moving through my hand. So creating, crafting, whatever this is, there's a lot of a connection back to source is how I want to say it, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but they're the messages that are coming through. So what have we got here? We've got affection, which is sorrow, and we have tranquility. And I do, sitting next to this thicket of thorns, again, this is kind of like the understated energy within you, which to me feels like the doubt of I can't do it. It is that perhaps I'm not meant for this. Perhaps the world is too harsh a place for me. We're going to come to these in a minute. But, there's no softness around me. There is no, I find it hard to find these places, these moments of tranquility, because the world is such a place that I don't always feel at home in. And I feel very overwhelmed and almost like I'm not very grounded. So I feel like, I'm wobbly is how I kind of want to say it. This idea of the cat looking through the mirror here, I think, is quite important for you. This is that idea of your own subconscious, of your own psychicness, and this idea that spirit is with you and watching you while this all goes on. So the affection may come from spirit, and you may not experience this connection, or you will experience connection, but you may be someone who struggles connecting to other people, even people who are doing the same types of things that you're doing. This tranquility, I feel like maybe you're a person that works at night and finds that during that really peaceful energy that's when you work best. But maybe, or that you're someone who burns the candle at both ends, that type of thing. It feels good to me, but I also feel like there's a caution there, just to be careful that you don't spend all of your time at night with nobody else, and not on, and not connecting to others. And you may say, well, you do on, virtually and things like that, and a real connection, a real getting into the earth is very important. Now, Spirit has just brought me back here because I'm looking at the thicket of thorns, and then the top card here. So this is like the untamed you. And then the next part is the Nine of Pentacles, which is what these nature spirits want to talk to you about. It's how you go from, I'm just noticing we've got a 43 and another 43. So you might want to look that number up. It's quite an important number for you, but particularly from the nature spirits. And off the top of my head, unless I condense that down to a 7, I don't know anything about the number 43. A 7 is quite a magical, lucky number. So perhaps that there's something about you that is magical and lucky, or you either doubt that or you do believe that about yourself. Anyway, what I'm noticing is almost this fairy story here, that you're going from this idea that the world does not accept me, the world does not love me, into I'm so at home and comfortable in my environment. And that is really what you want in life. And instead of being very well kept and feeling like you have to do this to fit in, here she's quite disheveled, and she's much more who she is. She's showing the world that she's a bit of a witch, that she is going to have a glass of wine in the middle of the day or whatever this is, and she's going to reap the rewards of her life. She's not going to let anybody else rule her life, and that's super important for you. it's about learning to navigate the outside world as much as your own inner world, which I think you're very good at. Now, our last two cards for you, well, the last two here, because I haven't decided if I'm going to pull any more yet, is the Ace of Pentacles and the Temperance. And this is your thing that you bring through. It's a very tangible object in the world for the first aspect of this, the Ace. It's prosperous, it's beginnings, it's property. And it's a real tangible thing. So you make something, or you're part of a team that makes something for some people. And it's very healing. Which I've already talked about, and this is summing up what it is that you're bringing into the world. And your self-doubt, your belief that, so this is also talking about guidance and healing, moderation and balance. But your belief, your self-doubt, is just a thing that limits you. It's not meant to be anything else. So I'm just going to bring in any guidance for you now, pile number 2, just to see if there's any final guidance for you. And it's energy. So swamp lily and it's energy. So my suggestion here is for you to remain really excited and vibrant about your plans. You need to look after your energy levels. You need to make sure that you're looking after yourself. And there's this resolve here too, which I really like. So tree spider orchid, there's a resolve that you will do what you're saying you're going to do, instead of that doubt that I talked about before. But that swamp lily, it just wants to come up into the camera. Like I really love this. I love this for you. It's very particular. It's very clear. And it is talking about you having reserves of energy as well. So for some people, there is this question of, do I have enough energy to get this project out into the world? And for others of you, it's like you've got boundless energy. So there feels like two camps here when I'm looking at these cards, because this resolve I feel a bit weaker. I feel like I need to, perhaps it is that when I'm focused on this lack energy, when I'm focused on this uncertainty, I'm really zapping my own energy. I'm really making the challenge come from within when I don't need to, because I can reserve and conserve my own energy when I know that I'm going to move forward into the 9 of Pentacles, which is an absolutely fabulous card. I love this reading for you, pile number 2. Thank you for being here. If you'd like a private reading, there is a link in the description box below. Please like, share and subscribe if you're not so already. Thanks. Bye for now. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose the tawny frogmouth feather, then this is your reading today. And you might want to look up the tawny frogmouth and their particular spiritual energy, because it may have something to do with you, or with, what you need to know at this time. I think it's about transformation from memory, protection, camouflage. There's a few sort of things going on there. So, and we do have the protection card straight up. I'm going to take just a few cards there, but I'm going to leave them for a minute. So I'm just giving you a heads up, because I want to get to this energy first, this top layer, and then talk about what's underneath. And then this will come in at a bit of a later date. Okay, so you've got the plan. And obviously these cards later as well. Hello. Okay, so the 6 of Swords, it's time for you to leave a situation. Doesn't necessarily mean that you don't know about this already. Perhaps you already know this and you're going. But the nature spirits, and I'm really looking at I wouldn't normally use this word, but the fall leaves, I'm looking at that. So this feels like this could be an autumn time for you. There may be a shift, a move, a change, a transition from something to another. And in my head I heard in the dead of night, so I don't really know if that's going to be the same for everybody, so I won't, it's a message for somebody. So we have the protection card and wisdom. Wisdom is a blend of knowledge and love. Protection, your inner light, is your strongest protection. Now, I really like these cards. I've got quite a lot of new cards out here today, but these cards to me, I think they're called portals or something like that anyway, elements. But this feels like, to me, that they, you go into this, the energies of this, and I'll bring them up so you can see them. Pile number 3. So we're talking about protection, we are talking about wisdom, but we are also talking about this idea of perhaps you finding, what is it, a reprieve? What is another word that I could use? A sanctuary, like that sort of way of thinking about it, that nature for you, the nature spirits are telling me, is a reprieve, is a sanctuary, is a place for you to calm down, is a place for you to call quiet and peace for you. And I feel like you've had a lot to, or are about to experience a lot of stuff where that feels like it's impinging on your mental health. Okay, so this idea of looking after yourself, keeping yourself balanced is how I want to look at it. It is this idea that don't let other people impinge on your freedom and your safety and your sense of self, of who you are. All right, so we've got the spirit guardian of summer, and these are new cards, these are new cards, these are new cards. So, I think this first time I'm using quite a lot of them in a reading. So I haven't seen a lot of them before. This is a 37, spirit guardian of summer expansion. And so this is about you expanding your life, but perhaps it's going to go through a little bit of an ugly stage. Like when a caterpillar goes inside a cocoon and then it comes out and it's a beautiful butterfly. It kind of feels a little bit like that. Feels like there's some growth and expansion happening in your life, and you're going to gain a lot from it. However, it may not be the prettiest part of what's going on. So we have the owl spirit wisdom, we have the air spirit knowledge. So there's a lot of air energy here. The summer is very airy, we're looking at the upper part of the tree here. And this here is another traveling, sort of leaving something, moving beyond something. This here looks like she's taking the things that are weighing her down and transforming them. Another reference here to that beautiful tawny frogmouth. So here we've got that higher wisdom coming in from the owl spirit. This is a 9 too. So we're looking at completion of something. Here, this feels like your base chakra is expanding. So this could have to do with relocation. This could have to do with a change in career, money, finances, all the earth element stuff. However, there's a big change of mind around this too. I'm not going to drill down more because this is a general reading. So which way are we going? I think we're going to go over here. So we've got the 3 of Swords, heartbreak, sorrow, and grief. So either you're experiencing this, it's been going on for some time actually for a lot of you, or for others of you, I feel like it's in the past and it's not long gone, but it's not currently in your day-to-day life, but it's still affecting you. The 5 of Wands here, I love this card, this beautiful leopards, and it's talking about competition, debate, and defense. So this is how you've been feeling for some time, and you haven't been able to get yourself free of this thing, I think. So even if you don't have the situation going on in your life, we've got the 6 of Swords there, it is still affecting you. It is still creating conflict in your life. And it's again, we've got another 8 of Cups. This is another card of leaving. We've got the leaving card, another leaving card. So, and this air spirit here is another traveling or leaving card. So if you are leaving a situation, I wouldn't be surprised. The earth spirits want you to know this, because perhaps you've been someone who has been putting it on the back burner. Perhaps you're someone who's been saying, no, it's going to be okay. I'll be able to work this out, because there's a lot of mental activity here. So you may be someone who's trying to, here we go. Maybe someone who's trying to persist, someone who's trying to push the positivity of this situation, and you're trying to camouflage yourself. You're trying to say it's going to be okay. We'll get through it. Boundaries with bear. This is spot on for you. Stand your ground. You can't just allow people to walk all over you. You can't ignore people if they cross your boundaries. It's not enough for you. You need more. The Eight of Cups is you not settling for more or less than what you're worth. Okay, you've got many strings to your bow. You're a very good person emotionally. Like you're pretty good at reading other people's emotions, and perhaps you give too much. Perhaps you're a real giver, which is why the earth spirits are coming in here and saying, you know, that you will see this through to the end, but it doesn't mean you let people walk all over you, because this is about you looking after your own safety and understanding that there's sometimes you may have to go. We've got 3 going cards here. We've got you and your boundaries. We've got fights and heartache. So this is about you gaining wisdom around your base chakra, around feeling safe, not about you hunkering down and saying that you'll get through this just through the thought that you'll get through it. It's not enough. Patience is here, the foggy bog. Now there's a lot of murky energy here. So we've got 2 air cards that are quite murky is how I want to see them. And so I feel like you're waiting for something to clear. I feel like you're waiting for someone or something to appear, to save the day, to make it right, something like that, so that you can feel justified about how you feel, but also so that you don't have to leave. And, you know, I say this on any video that I make where I'm saying these words. Please don't leave as a result of a pick a card reading. This is energy that you should already know about. I shouldn't be telling you to do something that you don't feel is in your life. And if it's completely wrong, it's a pick a card reading on YouTube. So moving on. So some guidance and some advice here. We have Emu Bush, which is partnership. 5 corners, development. Now this is about self-development, 5 corners, and they're both very pink cards. So this is about you loving yourself, okay? The partnership card is not you and other people. This is about you and yourself. This is about loving yourself so much that you make sure that nobody else treats you like shit ever, ever. Now, I had to say that very, very strongly, pile number 3, because you cannot hide yourself. You cannot protect yourself. You cannot camouflage yourself enough to keep yourself safe, and particularly if there's anyone else involved. All right. Love this card for you. Absolutely love it. Just going to focus it. Raven, magic, own your power. Couldn't sum this up better. These are not about you being a better partner. These are not you being smaller, meeker, milder, making sure that you fit in, making sure that you make everyone else feel comfortable. This is about you feeling comfortable in your own skin and owning it. Own who you are and how you show up in the world. Pile number 3, because you are an important, necessary person in many people's lives. And this feels like one person in particular. We have the 1 here. We also have an 18, which is a 9, which is a completion. So we're going from, we don't have the 0 here, which is the symbol of unlimited potential. We're going from 1 to 9. We're going from you not believing in yourself and doubting yourself into, I know who I am, I know where I'm going. There's still further for me to go, but I know who I am and I feel good about who I am. The 8 of Cups here, it's not settling for second best. You don't need this stuff in your life. You need some boundaries, and you need to own your own life and stop letting whomever this is control the results for you. I hope that's made sense for you, pile number 3. And like I said, please don't make any actions based on a pick a card reading, but if you'd like a private reading to have a good look at your personal situation, there is a link in the description box below. Bye for now. That was your messages from the Nature Spirits. Hi there, pile number 4. If you chose the galah with that beautiful little pink there on the feather, then this is your reading today. And you feel like a very strong person, pile 4. like a really strong backbone. We have the leadership card, we have success, we have horse and owl. So lots of wisdom, lots of knowledge, and you probably know all of these things about yourself. So the leadership card, you know you're a leader. You know your own worth, which is really nice. And this idea of success, that it's just natural to you, this is how it feels. And this is talking about a secret spring. So the nature spirits want you to know that, that they're supporting you, that they're around you, that that you have access to draw on more from nature is what I'm sort of getting from this message here, that there is more abundance for you than you even understand. And perhaps it is that you need to tap back into nature, into this secret spring. Perhaps you have your own area of nature that you go to that feels recharged, like it recharges your battery or something like that for you. Now, I had quite a few cards fall out then, and I do feel like I'll bring them in, but not just yet. However, the Temperance card did just come out there. So I feel like you are a natural born leader. You're pretty good at so many things, and the nature spirits want to acknowledge that in you. Like the horse card, it's all about freedom. It's all about drive, spirit, ambition. That sort of thing. There's a lot of fire going on with that. The owl, that's about perseverance. It's about looking, into the distance. It's about wisdom. There's so much within you. Now, I haven't even got to the outsides yet, so I'm not missing them. I'm just leaving them for a minute because I feel like I'm running ahead at 100 miles an hour, and perhaps this is this idea here because I'm sort of sinking. That you are a very successful person. You are somebody who takes leadership and responsibility in their stride. However, I feel like there is this need to pull back, to draw down. We have the Temperance card here. It's about guidance, healing, moderation and balance. And I think this is the message from the nature spirits because my energy is just calming down now. It's really becoming more still and quiet, and perhaps that is a message for you, pile number 4, that you are galahs are very active, social birds. They're very talkative, chatty, all that sort of stuff, and perhaps it's time for you to start taking more time for you, taking more time to recharge you. Time for you to enjoy some meditation, yoga, or go on a retreat. Absolutely perfect. It's about connecting with nature a little bit more for you. It is you seeing how nature rewards you when you spend time there. It's time to play, let go of doubts and worries. Be a bit childlike. Go into nature like a child might, and honour and respect her as well. Like it's not like... part of me wanted to say it's almost like you've lost touch. And then I was going to say it's not like, but I do believe this could be what they're saying to me or to you. That you are such a doer in the world that you may have lost touch with your ability to be a bit more childlike, to be more spiritual, to experience more bliss and innocence, and understand how nature actually fills your cup up. And perhaps you need to remember... some of you, it might be that you remember like a child that it was fun, that you did have fun going out into nature. And others of you, it'll be this idea of connecting to nature like you've never done before because you didn't have the opportunity as a child, whichever one suits your particular, story and life. Now, the King of Pentacles here, again, this is just talking about who you are in the world. You are reliable, visionary, generous. You rock on the on the physical plane. You're very, very good at it. You know how to do it. You do it well. The Empress here. The other thing is that you're very good at taking care of others. You're very magnanimous in the gifts that you share with others. So I feel like you're very successful. You have lots of wisdom, and you put a lot of your own time into others. You're somebody who shares your knowledge, your wealth, your wisdom, and your energy with other people. And I love that about you, but I also think that you have to start spending a bit more time on this temperance, this healing for the self, more time out for yourself. And it may not be that you're on your own. You may even do this with another person, but it's time for you, and it's very important for you. The Two of Swords here is showing me that I don't think you will want to do what I'm talking about. You may have been somebody who has been resistant to this idea, or you may not think that nature is that you're at home in nature, something like that. But it doesn't have to be that you go into, like in Australia, you don't have to go right into the deep, dark bush or the middle of the forest. You might find, an accessible waterfall or walking track for a beautiful view. And it doesn't have to be a big, day out, but it's that connection, the way that it works for you. So if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of time and can't go, deep into the bush or the forest or the river or the lake or the ocean, whatever this is, that you just find what's suitable for you, and that you take the boundary, the blindfolds, as well as the boundaries away, because you're creating boundaries for yourself that are keeping you out of this. And it's this recharging of yourself that we're looking for, because this is a new phase of your life, pile number 4, where you are very social. You are good at people. You're good at business or life or work or family or whatever. This is Pentacles, so we're talking about the earth plane. You're very good at it. But this is a new time for you. You're entering into a new phase. The Fool here: purity, potential, risk, innocence, and desire. And it's not about you leaving behind people, because I feel like you're a very people-orientated person. We have the galah here. Galahs, galahs are funny kind of birds, and you might like to have a look up, search galahs up if you're not familiar with them, because they are, like where I live here, there's galahs that hang from the telephone wires, and all the wires that come to our house, they hang up and upside down and talk and squawk to each other. They are, they're constantly telling each other where they are and what they're doing, and bathing in the water. We have a little bird bath out front of our front window, and they are very accessible, chatty, really friendly people, or our birds, should I say. And it's not about you leaving others behind, because I feel that I am not wanting to let go of some aspect of myself here with the Fool. Even though I don't have a lot of cards that signify that, I just have this feeling that the Fool here, she's stepping into something, but she's very much looking backwards. She's hanging on to this other idea, and that even though she's looking back at nature, which to me for this reading makes a lot of sense, I also feel like there's a lot of second guessing. So I'm going to bring in a couple more cards, and I'm going to have to move that out of the way. The King of Swords here, I don't feel like you're in that energy at this point in time. Then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So you are going to take this action. The nature spirits want you to know that you are going to take this action. It is going to be quite pleasurable for you. This is you learning to conserve your own energy, and particularly mental energy as well. There is a need for you to disconnect, and maybe for social media for some people. This could be social in any way. Okay, it's very social for you. You are a very social person. And this is a disconnect. The King of Swords here, actually, look at him. He's got both of his feet showing, and he's got them facing to the sides. He's got to put some boundaries up around himself and his life, because he can't have all of the people that want to connect with him just connecting in whenever they want to. He's quite wise, and he understands that. However, being very good at people and social skills, and being this kind, gentle soul that he is, he finds that quite challenging. And so this mental aspect of this is really quite a hard choice to make, putting the self first, knowing that the self is the important person here, and that your own, it's not self-worth because you actually really you're a very balanced person is how I feel about you in most areas of your life. But this is that real knowledge from spirit almost that tells you, you know that you have to do this. You don't want to make this decision, but it's going to free you up in a lot of ways and help you heal yourself and honor yourself, honor your own, the things that you've been teaching other people for a long time. Like I said, the Knight of Pentacles here is you actually taking the action. This is the benefits that you'll get from the investment of spending the time on yourself. Now, the last card that I have for you is Swamp Lily Energy. And one of the other piles had this card too, so I'm interested about that. But it feels very different for you. Because here, I'm going to place it in the center of the reading. I feel like you've either had a health scare recently or become quite drained. And this nature spirit reading that you're watching is a sign and a symbol of a bigger, larger spiritual lesson. And that is, you can't continue on the way that you've gone. It's not about abandoning anybody. It's not about giving everything up, because you love what you do and you love your connection to people. And you, like I said, you're very, very social. You're very good at it. You know what you're good at in this life, and you're never going to, I'm going to use the word retire. You're never going to retire from the things that you're good at. However, you're going to take a step back. And that's really what this, where do I want to put you? This is about you taking a step back in your own, in how much you give to others, in what you do for others. And instead of 70-30, you're going to make it 50-50. I don't know if that's accurate for all of you. This is a group reading. But this is this idea that you are important, and you didn't build your life so that you could spend all of your life helping others, even though it's a very big, important part of who you are. As the magician, you know that the things that you want from your life are the things that you create yourself. And we don't want you to be depleted of your own energy, because you have so much to give. And if you start looking after your own energy more, by perhaps connecting to nature or whatever this feels like for you, honoring who you are, experiencing more bliss, having more play in your life, this is the spiritual lesson for you of balancing out the things that you want to give, and the partnership of you and the people around you and your social network or your work or whatever this is, if you're a teacher or whatever. This is you understanding that by pulling back, you're giving to you, and then you'll have more energy to share and give and continue on with this wonderful journey of where you have been and where you're going in your future. You'll develop deeper relationships, and you'll be able to spread your wisdom further, and you'll have more energy to use. You know, the horse sitting there, it's fiery and passionate, and it has so much to share and, you know, wants to move forward. But if you have a look at the horse and the owl, they're both quite, they're looking you in the face. And I should pick them up so you can see them better. And if you have a look at the horse and the owl, they're very frankly looking you in the face, telling you, you know what you need to do. And you know what you need to do. And the nature spirits are supporting you, and they'll help you refashion your life into the new life that you're going to have, with a new balance, new boundaries, you know, all that sort of stuff. And it's going to be a period of adjustment for you. And I know that you don't really want to make this decision, but the nature spirits really want you to know that it's time for you to make some changes to continue to look after yourself and to bring a newer, more improved version of yourself to the things that you actually choose to continue to do. And when I say that, it's not like you're going to stop doing the things that you do. It's like you're pulling back, and maybe you'll have, you know, it's just less time. That's what it feels like. Less time that you to share with others, and you will be more conservative of your time and your energy, which is that the swamp lily card there, to balance things out for you, to heal and bring in that moderation for you. Thank you so much for being here, pile number 4. I've really enjoyed this reading for you. If you would like a private reading, there is a link in the description box below. And as I said, please look up what Galar is all about, because it may have some other meanings than the ones that I've shared with you. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like this video and please subscribe if you're not already. Thanks for being here. Bye.